There have been times during my years of playing when I've probably learned music more through listening and by ear, and other times when I've had to rely more on the music. With the Danelaw band, we put the sets together, and the music was there more as an aide-memoire, because we knew the tunes, and they were there, you know, occasional lapses in concentration or whatever. But if I was playing with another band, as I did with the Danelaw band, or with Derek Lawrence, or some of these others, it was absolutely essential I could read their music. I mean, for example, I got Neil Barron to lead the accordion for one of the dances I had with this, the band that we called the Glendale. And Neil wasn't happy about reading my music, and so I had to read his. It was his music that night, and so I had to read it, and you had to do it properly. It had to be in unison. I don't know whether you've heard of an accordionist called Robert Black, but absolutely outstanding, full-time professional, one of the most innovative accordionists, and he did a couple of dances with us down in the Midlands, and he followed my music spot on. I was very impressed with it. So it depends on what you're doing, but I've got no time for people to say that it's not traditional if you don't learn it by ear. The dots are very, very important. To give you one example, I'd heard bands playing the Mason's Apron quite a lot, and I was really hooked on the tune, but I couldn't play it. I mean, we're going back now to the very early 1950s. I got the music, I think I got it in Kerrs actually, and I struggled with it at first to get the bowing right, because the second part in particular, you know, and it was a mixture there of hearing and following the dots. But it depends on what you're doing. But as I said, I've got no time at all for people who feel that if you don't learn it by ear, it's not worth knowing. And I know that there are organisations that have that view, and it's not one that I would share at all. Yes and no, it depends on the band. Shan, for example, they didn't use music because they were playing the same stuff week in, week out, and they didn't. And when I sat in with them, I knew what they were playing, and I played it. Right. A lot of bands now do use music, Scottish bands. I can think of, well, most of the bands that I know fairly well, Ian Cruikshanks that I've played with, Ian MacPhail, when they set up and do a dance, they've got the music. And MacPhail will have copies, for example, taped together across 2 or 3 stands, and there's one set for everybody, and it's very large print, exceptionally large print. So the guy on the right playing the second box, the harmony accordion, can follow it, as can the lead accordion and the fiddle in the middle. Right. It depends. I mean, my stuff will be just done on A4 sheets of paper, and everybody's got their own copy.